Welcome to our next online class. Our today's topic is podcast. Now, what is podcast? A podcast is a series of digital or audio files so that new episodes are automatically downloaded to his computer or smartphone. User can subscribe to podcasts. You can create your own podcasts by using a podcasting website such as www.podbean.com or use any podcasting app from the Google Play Store. Next is news groups. News groups link is given that a news group is an online discussion about a specific topic. You can browse news groups and post or replies to the topics using a newsreader program. News groups may be either moderate or unmoderate. Now, what is moderate? In a moderate news group, a moderator must approve posts in order for them to become part of the decision. This is a moderate. In an unmoderate group, everything posted is included in the discussion. Some news groups may also use bots to moderate the content, automatically eliminating posts that are deemed offensive or off topic. Now, Internet Protocol means IP. What is Internet Protocol? In information technology, a protocol is a special sets of rules that two or more machines on a network follow a communication with each other. This is the diagram for Internet Protocol. See here, one server is there and client is sending a response or query, a request and a query, and server is giving a response to the client. And how the server searching a data? The server is searching the request which is client had sent to that data and again getting back that data and giving response to client. So main is this, that communication, two or more machines or network follow to communicate with each other. They are the standard that allow computers to communicate. With the help of computers, we are communicating with each other. The best example is that when you are talking with each other, you are using Messenger or you are searching something, you are writing in a browser, in a Google, you are writing in a URL. So you are a client, you are sending request to a server. Server is searching according to your request from data and giving back and responding to you. This is the main thing that client and server is doing. Next is TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. So TCP/IP is a set of protocol that handle the way data is transmitted across the internet. So TCP and IP has two major components, that is TCP and IP both is working the same. TCP breaks data in a small segments called packet. TCP is responsible for verifying the correct delivery of this data back from client to server and then at a destination. It resembles the packets in the original form. Data can be lost in the intermediate network. TCP adds support to data errors or loss of the data. And IP is responsible for assigning address to the packet and enables the work to the address and forward the packet to the destination. Means TCP and IP both are working. They are handling the data and sending in a correct place. Like a client is sending request to the server, so according to the request, server gets data and TCP and IP will send you data from server to client. Point-to-point protocol. It is a protocol used to establish a direct connection between two computers using a telephone line. That is a point-to-point protocol. Not POP3, Post Office Protocol 3. Post Office Protocol 3 is the most recent version for receiving email. POP3 is a client-server protocol in which email is received and held for the recipient by protocol internet. When you will send email and you are getting email, at that time POP3 is receiving your mail and giving with the help of an protocol and internet server. IMAP. IMAP can be thought of a remote file server. IMAP allows you to access your email message where you are. Basically, email message are stored on server. Whenever you check your inbox, if you children, if you had mailed anyone, if you are having an email ID, or you send a mail to your friends or any family member, then only you can able to understood this topic, because it is related to sending email and how the email works. So this is a practical way. If you are not having an email, then once you try mail to your friend, so then only you will able to understand what is this. So you check the inbox, like right now I'm giving you example. Your phone, in your phone there is a message box where you're getting a messages. So email is also like that. When someone will send you email, at that time your mails is in inbox. So you can check your mail when you will click in your inbox. So your email client contact to the server to connect you with your messages. When you read an email message using IMAP, you are not actually downloading or storing it on a computer. Instead, you are reading it off the server. So email messages won't take space in your computer or in your phone if you are using. Only from server you are reading that messages. So this is the best way to send messages or email. Now next is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext is a set of rules protocol that govern the transfer to hypertext between two or more computers. Hypertext is the highlight text on a web page that activates a link to another hyperlink document. This you know because I had taught you HTML, so you know what is HTTP. When you are linking to web pages, that and in server, when we are searching something, so our HTML, our web pages are linked with one another. So it is is called hypertext. So hypertext is a special code using a standard system called Hypertext Markup Language. HTTP is based on client and server principle. It allows the client to make a connection with server and then make a request. HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Websites that use the standard HTTP protocol transmit and data receive in unsecured manner. This means it is possible for someone to easily drop on the data being transferred between the user and the web server. Therefore, security website using HTTPS protocol to encrypt the data being sent back and forth. For the security, see HTTP here also Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and HTTPS means the security, because in this HTTP there is not security, and they are saying that HTTPS is secure when you are sending data to someone or you are linking a web pages, or so no one can capture you, no one can recognize with the help of HTTPS. It is a secure data. Here example is given that data encryption. The message is clear text, plain text is encrypted, distinguished through the use of an encryption key to create a cipher text. Now SSH, secure shell. The SSH protocol is which allows us to log in securely to the another computer. It provides strong authentication, protects the communication security, and integrated with strong encryption. It is a secure alternative to the non-protection login protocol such as Telnet and insecure file transfer method such as FTP. Now SFTP, SSH file transfer protocol, is a secure file transfer protocol. It runs over the SSH protocol. It supports the full security and authentication functionality of an SSH. So SSH is for security purpose, means where you have to log in something. If you are using some thing and their system is asking login, when that is a security. For security purpose we are using SSH and SFTP. When you are sending a file from one system to another, that file should be security based. So no one can, encryption means no one can access your data, no one can use your data. So that is a security purpose, that only authentication person means those who are having a login ID and password, only that person only can access your file. File transfer protocol, this you know that you are sending file, you are sending your data from client to server, and you are and server is giving request, accessing if client is send request to the server, that server access their data and send response to the client. SCP, Secure Copy Protocol. SCP is means of securely transferring computer files between computers on the network. SCP use secure SSL for data transfer and ensure the data is transmitted confidently. The client can send upload files to the server optionally, including their basic attributes. Client can also request files or directory from a server. Next is Telnet. This protocol helps a user to log into a remote computer and functions if he were connected directly to the computer. A Telnet session requires that user to specify the host address, valid user login and password. Once a connection is made, the user can work if he was directly connected to the remote machine. Means here it's saying that shell is used for security purpose. If you are having a login ID and password, you can access it. So Telnet is also, if you are having a login ID and password, then you can connect directly with that website or with that page and you can do your work directly. And you means you want to say that you can directly connect to the remote machine. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is a communication protocol for mail. This is also for email, where you are sending mail server to transmit email over the internet using a process called store or forward. Means you can send your email forward also, like how you are sending message in WhatsApp, you are forwarding message from one person to another. Like this way also you can send your email to from one person to another. Now, point-to-point protocol. Point-to-point protocol means it is a protocol for direct communication. Means like a simple word I want to say, face-to-face when you are talking with some person. Computer also we are saying that point-to-point protocol means direct communication between two computers. Typically, a personal computer connect by phone line to a server. Most internet server provide ISP, use PPP for customer dial-up access. Internet PPP is used for communication between two computers using a serial interface. Mostly a personal computer connected by phone line to a server. So children, this is a chapter is completed, and I will give I had already sent notes from this chapter. Once again I will send you notes if you are not having. So thank you children.